So ladies and gentlemen, tonight I have the wonderful opportunity to interview a wonderful pianist, composer, educator, and musician, Jason Moran. Now, Jason, let me ask you, one of the themes I've had at this festival is kind of talking with some of you members of Charles Lloyd's group, because I think it's just a wonderful group of musicians, and you guys are really kind of being featured and honored here this year. You know, Charles just got the Miles Davis Award. Right. So let's talk a little bit about Charles and working with Charles. When did you first start working with him? Was it 2007?
Yes, yeah. 2007 I joined the band. Okay. Under a lot of good fortune, a lot of right timing.
Yeah, well, you know, you really add something to the group. You know, I really saw the chemistry between you guys last night playing with Charles. I mean, it was just like it came naturally almost, like the way you guys performed. Tell us a little bit about what goes through your mind when you're getting ready to play a show with Charles.
You know, Charles gathers us every night before a concert, and he says, and we put our arms around each other, and he says a prayer.
Really?
So every night before a concert, that's where we're starting from. This is healing. This is turmoil. This is conflict. It's everything that you associate with therapy. Because music has kind of all these properties in it.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's historical as well. Because what we play goes into someone's history.
Yes,
or an audience's
exactly.
history. So that's where we start from.
Well, you know, we try to, with the jazz musician's voice, we try to get what's happening in the moment for future generations. And, you know, musicians such as yourself are so important for this music. So it's just a blessing for us to get what it is that you have to share with us. And, you know, Rupen was saying that, you know, Charles doesn't really have anything musically to tell you too much. Like, it's kind of like a thing where you guys just kind of go in there.
Yeah.
As the pianist, what do you think it is that you contribute to that group?
I don't know, you know, the role of the rhythm section is to decide how you want to paint the landscape. So I feel like at sometimes I could be supplying the color, I could be supplying the texture, you know, or I could be the painter who decides that I'm not going to use, you know, a scalpel to put my paint on the canvas, but I'm going to use a twig, you know.
Sure.
And all these ways of application of making a landscape for then Charles to then set his subject inside. That's how I think about being an accompanist.
Yeah.
Not only for Charles, but for Cassandra Wilson, or for Greg Osby, or Steve Coleman, or for Joe Lovano, or whoever, you know, Anthony Braxton, any of these people, is how do you let the music paint, and it should unfold. And you know, the music is a thing that shouldn't unfold the same way over and over again, because you're gonna wear out the creases of the paper if that's how it works.
Yeah,
so with Charles's band, we never try to unfold the same way, and we really let the seance happen. We let the repetition, we let the manner of what people have done for centuries and centuries become part of our practice as musicians. So it's not about E minor 7 to A7.
No.
That's a small component of how we address the music, and Charles is a proponent of that.
Well, you know, it's really just it was an amazing performance last night. It just you could hear a pin drop at some points, and you know the way you guys took us on a landscape journey, it's just excellent, you know, and I even kind of really felt that from you, that concept of a landscape and where do you take the music. We had a little session, you know, and we played Green Dolphin Street, took it in many different directions, which was really cool because most of these sessions, it's just like same old, same old, same old,
Right.
But for young piano players who might be watching this and want to learn something or kind of have an idea of what they should do as a young pianist, what advice do you have for them?
Go find somebody old to study with. I'm not an old person that I study, and old is a derogatory term, so I don't condone that. But go find an elder in the music.
Yeah.
And the person I found was Jackie Byard, and I would say he saved me. That's what you should do. Is you go find a practitioner who you respect, and you go looking for the language that they don't speak anymore. It's not common language to play stride piano anymore. So Jackie Byard taught me that. And people like Cecil Taylor, they're getting up there in years. Barry Harris, he's here. He's getting up there. He's brilliant.
Performing tonight too. Here,
so like people like it's to go look for the people. And every community and every town has somebody who's been playing for a while. And you just start to try to gather that language, because once you get to whatever age you think it's necessary, you'll be glad, because that language won't be around anymore.
That's some solid advice, man. That's kind of what we try to do here, and thank you for giving that for the younger people who are watching this to put them in the right direction. Because you're certainly an inspiration to the young crowd as well as the old crowd and the experienced crowd. Tell us a little bit about your concert tonight. It was the dance party. How was that playing? It must have been.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever played for people who dance?
It's hard, man. I played with the Swing 46 Orchestra sometimes, and it's just tough because you kind of have to judge the crowd, but at the same time you have to play the right thing. You have to play the right music to make them swing.
So that's what we do, and that's exhausting to do. It takes a lot of energy. And I spent half the night dancing, so that is already tiring me out. So this is the last question I'm going to answer. Well, the way I think about Fats Waller and the way I think about any composer that we decide to play is not okay. Here's Fats Waller. He's a supposed giant in jazz. Okay, he is. Yeah. So I take his music and his language, and I really sit on it for a long time. I don't just play a song just because somebody says it's time to play the song. But then when you look at their music, you look at their life. You don't just look at now I have the chart to Honeysuckle Rose, and now I understand everything. Well, maybe you understand a part of it. And so considering that Fats Waller's music in the 30s and 20s and 40s was, music that had a function within, kind of American society and around the globe as it started to permeate, it was that music was functioning as a dance. And I never played for an audience that danced. And I knew that it was time to actually explore that. I had played for a ballet company,
sure.
But I had not played for everybody just come have a party. And I needed that. I need that in my life. I need to see and feel how the music can feel in front of different audiences. And the audiences can experience it as many different ways as they can. Whether I have people come dance, whether I have skateboarders skating in front of us, whether I have a singer just in front of the stage, whether I'm working with a ballet company, whether I'm working with a visual artist or a video artist, or a film, a documentary, the ways that the music can function. It's not just in a jazz club, and it's not just at a jazz festival. And hopefully when people leave after they hear whatever they gather from an experience, that they leave with new seeds. So people don't know who Fats Waller is. They come to see a show, well, they said dance party, that's where I came. Okay, but now you know about Fats Waller.
Exactly.
So go listen.
Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your work.
Thank you for taking your time.
I appreciate your work because it's important. It's really important that people get documented, period.
Sure.
And there's a severe underdocumentation of creative musicians having their own say.
Indeed,
So continue to do that work.
Thank you so much, man.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
All right.